Greetings once again, gamers. I'm Bedroth.
And I'm Shoot Kapow.
And you're listening to part 2 of our epic Mega Man 2 vs. Mega Man 3 season finale, here on Very Good Music,
a VGM podcast.
Gamers, last week was a fairly short episode, and I think this one might actually stand to be even a little bit shorter, unless we build in a little bit more rambling this time around. We certainly had enough left for a healthy blooper reel last time. I'm sure that Shoot Kapow will continue to play Pokemon in the background, so you might hear more about the travails of Zuko and the rest of his fire Pokemon bunch.
Yay!
And you're also going to hear a lot more, what, Shoot Kapow?
Very good music.
That's right, because once again, we will be listening to the soundtracks of Mega Man 2, composed by
Takashi Tateishi,
and Mega Man 3, composed by
Yasuaki Fujita and Harumi Fujita.
And tonight, we actually do have a couple of tunes by Miss Fujita, or she has composed the first two Mega Man 3 Robot Masters that we'll be playing tonight. Last week I had a little bit of top of the show business. I mentioned that we would be taking a bit of a break after this episode, but that we would be back on the second Saturday of September. I also mentioned that we would have a couple of special announcements this time around. One of those is actually that we are going to be shifting the podcast to a Tuesday release schedule. That's going to give me a little bit more time over the weekend to work on editing and such, so I don't have to worry about squeezing it in after work when I'd rather kind of hang out with you guys. And also, I don't know of a lot of VGM podcasts that are going to be releasing on Tuesdays. Now, there is one thing I think I might be forgetting, Shoot Kapow. Who won that last round last time? Do you remember the last two songs we played?
Yeah, but, well, here, let me just...
Did I announce who won?
No.
I didn't, did I? Well, who do you think won between the Mega Man 2 ending theme and the Mega Man 3 Proto Man theme?
Mega Man 3.
That is correct.
Obviously.
Again, I must ask, why do you say obviously? That Mega Man 2 ending theme is really good.
Yeah, but the Proto Man theme is honestly a lot more just Proto Man, because the whistle and all that.
It does have more like specific character to it. I mean, it is a character theme. I kind of agree. I think that, the Mega Man 2 ending theme, it is really great. It's got a cool kind of melancholy feeling to it. But the Mega Man 3, the Proto Man epilogue theme, is melancholy for a reason. Do you remember what happens at the end of Mega Man 3? I know you didn't actually personally get to it, but...
Yeah. So the lab, breaks and stuff, and then Mega Man, almost dies, but Proto Man saves him, brings him back to the lab.
Mm-hmm. And then he disappears. And the ending actually features Mega Man, running through the grass while you see, all the Robot Masters, for whatever reason, from all the last 3 games come across the bottom of the screen. It's actually pretty cool. Kind of makes me think of Mega Man 3 as the end of a first trilogy, and then 4 kind of starts the next trilogy, even though 4, 5, and 6 don't really go, together in that way. Anyway, and then he, looks up at the sky after he runs through and we see the montage, and we see that silhouette of Proto Man, which I remember looking really cool to my 8-year-old eyes back in the 90s on the NES. But yes, Mega Man 3's Proto Man theme did win at 10 votes to 2 against the epilogue theme from Mega Man 2. Now, for whatever reason, a few people dropped off before the second poll, and we only got 12 voters on the second poll. That's still amazing. If you told me when I started out this podcast that I would actually get that many people responding to an internet poll that I posted about, even with all of my talking it up to my friends, I wouldn't have believed you. Ed Wilson estimates, and forgive me if I'm wrong, Ed, that for every 10 listeners of the podcast, maybe even every 20 listeners of the podcast, you might have one person who actually interacts with you. And I have really appreciated the interaction that I've gotten. I'm in the interesting position that I came fairly late to the game here, and I was a huge fan of VGM Podcast before I actually made the show. And so a lot of the people that I guess we would call our fans, quote unquote, I was their fan first. I mean, the Dyad, the Messenger, Ed, Mike, Brian and Frank, Chris and Matt, so many of these great guys. Derek and Matt. A lot of Matts out there. There's actually a lot of Brians out there, too. Brian and Gene from Pixelated Audio. But, yeah. So, thank you guys so much. And all of you folks who don't have VGM podcasts of your own, but who also have tuned in. Some of you have other podcasts. Some of you have YouTube channels. And some of you are just fans, like I was a year ago before I started this show. And like Shoot Kapow was too. So, thank you all so much. I love hearing from you, probably even more than you love listening to the show. So, Shoot Kapow, do you have any special thanks or any thoughts about how it's felt? I know we talked about some of the specific episodes last time, but how's it been? How have you felt?
I mean, it's been fun, definitely, recording the podcast. I'm actually watching Phantomeyer speedrun Mega Man 6 on Twitch right now. The Phantomeyer sends us both our well wishes. Both his well wishes, he says. And Muddle Madness says Mega Man show, nice.
Oh, nice. Muddle's there too. Very cool. Muddle always likes to jump in on those Twitch streams. We'll tell them if they're on Discord or anything. Tell everyone we say hi.
And yeah, just a few days ago, Alex Messenger interacted with me on Twitter. Yay!
It's cool, and it's really been cool because maybe it's because you're a little younger or whatever, but you seem to, in your own quiet way, really geek out about some of the guys that we get to talk to. When I told you that we would be recording episode 10 with Ed, you looked really super excited. I was like, this is Ed Wilson. He's like the VGM podcast guy. And that's been really cool. I've also, just to get mushy for a second, I've really enjoyed recording this with you. I know that at the beginning of the season, it was almost an afterthought. I actually thought I was going to be doing a solo show, which some guys can carry off really well. Looking at y'all specifically, Ben and Michael from The Dad Presents and from Forever Sound Version, respectively. There's also a couple of shows I don't listen to as much anymore, just because I don't have a lot of listening time anymore. Hammock from KVGM The Last Wave, and Drew from the Singing Mountain podcast. Several good solo shows out there. Jason Ariola from the Rock Out With Your Card Out podcast comes to mind as well. And I might could have carried it. I do most of the talking on the show because I do like to ramble, as this intro has kind of shown.
Yep.
But I'm really, really glad I brought you on. Everybody who I've talked to has mentioned that they really like our dynamic on the show, and they like hearing the different perspectives. You are the youngest VGM podcaster out there, if you don't count Ed's son, Logan, who is Lemon Boy's age and who occasionally appears on his podcast. And it really is cool to hear your perspective on these things, even when you and I don't necessarily see eye to eye. One last piece of top of the show business, and then again, we'll have one more big announcement at the end of the show. I am going to be doing another bonus episode. The Power Pros podcast, which was a weekly VGM news and reviews and sort of special feature podcast that actually, it was kind of a spiritual successor to the Nintendo Power magazine, recently ended after episode 200. They may come back periodically for special episodes, but I was really bummed. I actually kind of missed when that was happening, and I didn't get to write in or say anything to them that they could actually read on their last show because of, again, this lack of a commute. But when I caught up on the last 4 shows on our trip back from Georgia last week, I realized they were ending, and it was really sad. But one of those episodes, they finally did something I've been bugging Chris Hoffman, who has been the main consistent host of the show. I've been bugging him about it for a while, and that is an episode about their top 10 favorite soundtracks, in no particular order, just 10 of their favorite soundtracks each. And so, I am going to drop a bonus episode in a week or so with 20 tracks, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot in between, but I will say a couple of things that Chris and his co-host Pete Machad mentioned when they played the songs on the show. I'm going to play different songs from each game because I want you guys to check out that episode. Power Pros has been a really big part of my podcasting life for the last 5 years, and I'm sad to see him go, but I wish nothing but the best for Chris and Pete. Now, finally, on with the music. So what you heard playing in was the Mega Man 2 stage select theme and then boss selection theme, and the Mega Man 3 stage select theme and boss selection theme. I broke this one up in the polls, which I think you noticed, Shukapow, when you took the polls, because this one is really interesting. These are really, they're two separate entities, the character select and the boss select. They're very closely connected, and the boss select is really short, which is why I played them together. But the way that I broke this down, people could vote that they liked both the Mega Man 2 stage select and boss select better, or that they liked both the Mega Man 3 stage select and boss select better. Or they could vote that they liked the Mega Man 2 stage select and the Mega Man 3 boss select, or the opposite. Now, that last one would have been my vote. I mean, I like both boss select themes, but that Mega Man 2 boss select theme, I mean, it's just iconic. They used it in Smash when Mega Man was announced back on Smash 4. But I have a soft spot in my heart for the Mega Man 3 stage select. I think that, kind of like we heard last week, there's just more of a melody to it. And it goes into that flawless loop, like a lot of the short loops do in this. But here's how it broke down. The least popular choice, with one vote, was the Mega Man 2 stage select and Mega Man 3 boss select. The second least popular was my favorite, the Mega Man 3 stage select and the Mega Man 2 boss select. Before I get to the top two, do you remember how you voted on this one?
No.
Well, in second place was Mega Man 3, with Mega Man 3 stage select and boss select, with 3 votes. And finally, with 5 votes, winning this round is Mega Man 2, solidly. And yes, I am tallying points, and we will be announcing the winner at the end, based on points. But there is also one sort of final poll question, which we'll see. We'll see if the one that has the most points also is the one that won that last poll. And Shukapow, do you want to announce our first Robot Master pairing for tonight?
Okay, sure. Right, first up, we have Gemini Man and Heat Man.
And Gemini Man was composed by
Harumi Fujita.
That's right, he almost picked the other one. And of course, Heat Man was composed by
Takashi Tateishi.
Let's get into it.
again, that was Gemini Man by Harumi Fujita and Heat Man by Takashi Tateishi.
Now, why do you think I paired those two together?
I don't know. I mean, just because you wanted Gemini Man to win?
Well, they're very different tracks, but I really like Gemini Man's theme, but I also paired this one with Heat Man because it is the most polarizing of the Mega Man 3 themes. Mike from Pixel Tunes Radio and XVGM Radio, who has the YouTube channel Dongled, actually, Mega Man 3, like I said, is his favorite of the soundtracks. At least I think so. He might actually like 5 more. But anyway, he was the Mega Man 3 guy when they did their head-to-head on Pixel Tunes Radio. But this is his least favorite Mega Man 3 track. And for a while, it was my favorite, if at least one of my favorites, if not my favorite. What do you think of Gemini Man's track?
It's good. It's very good music.
Okay, cool, good deal. Gemini Man also, it's like he's on another planet because he's based on a star, but it also is kind of underwatery, kind of icy, sort of. I don't think Gemini Man's level knows what it wants to be. It's a really, really weird stage. But I always kind of associated him and his theme with something chilly, something icy. So I thought it was a nice juxtaposition to Heat Man. Now, Heat Man's level, I don't like it very much. It's got the blocks. And it was one of the first stages I ever played that was like that. Actually, Magnet Man stage has that, and it was the first Mega Man stage I ever played. So, but yeah, Gemini Man's theme also is one of only 2 themes that we have already played on the podcast so far. We played the Wily Wars version back on the Horoscopes episode, and one of the themes we'll be playing later tonight is also we played it a few episodes ago on the episode where I played my favorite songs from your favorite games. But anyway, Gemini Man's theme is the most unique theme of any of the Robot Master ones that we're playing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It's not like an upbeat rocking track. It's very chilly, and it's very kind of I'm notoriously bad at hearing a song and being able to tell what genre it is if it isn't something glaringly obvious like country, I'm better at telling classical subgenres apart than popular subgenres. But I can tell that Gemini Man is different. It's the black sheep. To me, Heat Man is also a little bit of a black sheep because it doesn't do much. What are your thoughts on the Heat Man theme?
I don't know, it's short. It's pretty unrecognizable. It's the least recognizable track in Mega Man 2 for me.
Yeah, it's interesting that even though the Weapon Get music is shorter, it's actually more memorable and I think more enjoyable than Heat Man's music. And poor Heat Man, he's also the ugliest Robot Master in the first 3 games.
He's a whiter.
He's a jack-in-the-box that's on fire. And, his weapon looks pretty awesome, don't get me wrong. But yeah, he's just a box. Poor guy. I don't know, maybe Tateishi used all of his creative energy on the other songs. And this is not a bad song, that's the thing. This song is still better than a lot of VGM that's out there. But compared to the other Robot Master themes, well, I guess we're kind of beating around the bush. Yeah. Who do you think won this one, Kapow?
Gemini Man.
10-2. A winner is Gemini Man. And he's actually only the second Robot Master from Mega Man 3 to win a round so far. We talked last week about how Mega Man 3 was winning the non-Robot Master music, but Mega Man 2 was really kind of sweeping the Robot Master music, which is, interesting. What that means is that so far, after Episode 1, Mega Man 3 was in the lead with 6 points. Mega Man 2 trailing behind with 3 points. Okay? Now, it's 6-4 because Mega Man 2 won the boss select and stage select round. Now, I'm doing that because we have another sort of half-point situation coming up later in the show tonight. But unlike last week, this time around we're actually going to be doing all 4 Robot Master battles back-to-back. I am going to be announcing our next one. Also composed by Miss Fujita, the first track you will hear is Needle Man's theme. Because this week, since I didn't say it before, we're going to be playing the Mega Man 3 theme first and then the Mega Man 2 theme, since we did it the other way around last time. Also, again, by Takashi Tateishi, you will hear Quick Man's theme. Now, before we get into them, Shukapao, any preliminary thoughts on these two themes? Do you even remember Needle Man's theme? Without me playing it?
No.
How about Quick Man's theme?
Yeah, I mean, I can recognize it, and yeah, it's
What's the first thing you think of when you think of Quick Man?
lasers.
Yep, dodge the lasers. Dodge the lasers and enjoy the music. That was Needle Man, composed by Harumi Fujita, and Quick Man, composed by Takashi Tateishi. Alright, so, Needles versus Boomerangs. Shukapao, who wins? Who would win this actual fight? See, I would give Gemini Man the last one, just because he can split into two. Although, Heat Man, as aesthetically perhaps unpleasing as he is, he would be a force to be reckoned with in a fight. But what about this one? Quick Man is quick, but Needle Man is big, and he has that like needle head thing that can like jut out at you. It's kind of another Crash Man, Hard Man situation. But who wins the musical battle, in your opinion?
I'd say Quick Man.
Oh yeah? How come? You knew I was going to ask.
I just like the theme better.
Okay. Can you maybe try to isolate why you think that is?
I don't know, I just think it's good.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Quick Man's theme has this almost electrical energy to it, which is why I almost paired him with Sparkman, but you guys will find out why I didn't when we talk about Sparkman's theme later. Needle Man's theme is really weird, kind of like Gemini Man's theme. And like I said, it makes me wonder if maybe Harumi Fujita also composed the boss theme for Mega Man 3, because they've got some sort of similarities. They're more eerie, a little bit more ethereal than the other tracks. Needle Man's stage is a ship, and this kind of makes me wonder if it's a haunted ship because of that sort of high, almost howling sense. And Needle Man's theme is really good. I liked it a lot, and I had to think about this more than probably most people. But, as you predicted, with a score of 9-3, a winner is Quick Man. Yay!
Yay!
All right. But, okay, do you remember much about these stages, other than lasers and Quickman stage?
No.
Despite Needleman stage being a Doc Robot stage, and thus having to play through it twice, I don't remember much about it either. The most striking thing about Needleman's whole thing is that weird little ball in... Is that his mouth? Is it supposed to be his nose? It's like a little red ball on the front of his body. And... I don't know. It's weird. But... Okay. This next pairing is probably going to be the one that you are most excited about out of both episodes. Because I know that you happen to love both of these themes. We're going back to Yasuaki Fujita now. Who are we going to be hearing from this round?
Sparkman.
Nope.
No.
Your favorite Mega Man 3 theme?
Oh yeah, Airman and Top Man.
Airman and Top Man. So first we'll be hearing Top Man, followed by Airman.
Alright. But you forgot about the Mega Man 1 composer.
That's right. Okay, so once again, that was Top Man's theme by Yasuaki Fujita, and Airman's theme by Takashi Tateishi, and...
Manami Matsumai.
That is correct. Okay. Now, you've got to have more to say this round. So who wins? Let's start with that.
Well, for me personally, I'd have to say Top Man.
Why?
Because it's...
Why do you think Top Man's theme stands out to you so much? Do you have like a favorite part of it, or...?
No, it just really... Well, first of all, it works for Top Man's stage. It's very, like, mobile, and it gives, like, that sense of, like, spinning and whatever.
I actually was thinking this time that I'm always weirded out by the very beginning of Top Man's theme, because it almost sounds like it's in a different time signature than it really is.
But I can confirm it's in the same time signature. I've arranged it.
Yes, you have. And it's a little bit odd, but then when it gets going, it just keeps going, and it's got that momentum, like you said, like a top. And even if these hadn't been your two favorite, or two of your like top favorite Mega Man themes, I probably would have paired them together because Airman's got those little tornadoes and Top Man's got the tops. It just makes sense. Now, Airman. Tell us a little bit about Airman's theme. Unless you want to say more about Top Man.
I mean...
Tell me a little about the composition. You're arranging it. So, have you faced any like challenges in that, or is there any part that's like really fun?
Well, I have arranged it. It was Well, I mean, I did a lot of it in history class, so...
Did you try to get as close to the original as you could, or did you put your own kind of spin on it?
I mean... Well, I used, let me see, I'm pretty sure it was a clarinet and tenor saxophone. I think I might have used an acoustic snare for percussion.
See what, I'll use it under the blooper reel for this episode.
Alright.
So that people can hear your arrangement. Or I might just play it in full a little bit. Maybe I'll play it underneath our talking, along with the Wily Wars theme that I've been using.
It's a xylophone. I used a xylophone. And a tenor saxophone clarinet.
See what, I'll actually play it in its entirety after the blooper reel. So those of you folks who really want to hear a little bit more of Shukapau's compositional chops, this is not his own composition, but it is his own instrumentation, and he did actually put all the notes in place. He didn't download a MIDI and move stuff around. He made it from scratch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he reconstructed it from the ground up, so. Very cool. Very cool. Were there any parts of it stuck out to you melodically from actually digging into it and actually putting the notes in place?
I guess the part directly after the intro, it's I like how it's all, eighth notes, and it just keeps moving, kind of like that, Castlevania style. With the I think with Tears. Yeah, there's one of them that Castlevania style. I'm pretty sure they said on Pixel Tunes Radio.
Yeah. Okay.
Ed and Mike.
Yep. Cool.
Either of them or the Super Mario Bros.
Yeah. If it was really getting into the musical construction and everything, I would put my money on the Marcados, but Ed and Mike are no slouches in that area for sure. Okay, and Airman. So, as a lot of people in the VGM community know, Manami Matsumai did join Takashi Tateishi for this song. They actually traded off. You'll hear about that on the Marcada Bros podcast. I know I've heard it there. I might have heard it a couple other places too. I forget. There was a I think some vertical shooter that was military themed that Matsumai was composing, and Tateishi actually composed a little bit of a level for her on that track. So they kind of traded. I imagine them kind of in separate parts of the office, and then they kind of cross paths one day, and they're like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Hey, I'm doing this thing. Hey, you want to write something? Sure. How about you? Cool." That's kind of my headcanon. I think it's sweet. But so here's the part of the Airman track that Manami Matsumai composed, if I recall correctly. Oh man, that guitar. This lady knows what she is doing. Airman's theme is so great. I mistakenly said in the last episode that it's my favorite Mega Man 2 theme. I am getting a renewed appreciation for how great a lot of the Mega Man 2 themes are. I went on and on about Bubble Man last time, but Airman, it does have these soaring sort of, these guitar sounds. And what future Mega Man song do you think kind of owes its construction back to this song that I also love? What other Mega Man song in the future that I also love do you think can trace its origins back to this song? Think high sweeping guitars that reflect the soaring aspects of the level.
Pilot Wings?
Mega Man.
Oh.
Here's another hint. We played it on the podcast.
Elec Man? Mega Man X. Storm Eagle?
Storm Eagle, yes. Yeah. I think there's a lot of similarities between, not necessarily in melody or anything, but in just the feeling of Storm Eagle stage and this one. They both got that kind of awesome 80s guitar sound. But, so these are two of Shukapau's favorite songs, and for both of us, this would be a close call. But for those of you out in VGM land, it wasn't quite so much. I was kind of surprised at how big of a disparity this one was. If it weren't for the one person that couldn't choose, it would have been possibly as wide apart as Quickman and Needleman. With 8 votes to 3 for the runner-up, and then one person who couldn't choose, our winner is Airman. All right. So far, we're at 1 Robot Master from Mega Man 3 winning for the night, and 2 from Mega Man 2 winning for the night. Will we have the same outcome as we did last week, with Mega Man 2 taking the Robot Master songs 3-2, or 3-1? Let's find out as we move into my favorite pair of songs of the nights, and probably of the whole podcast, the whole pair of podcasts. I would say my second place was probably Bubble Man and Snake Man. My third place would be Air Man and Top Man. Beyond that, they're all good. So I'm not going to rank all of them. But these are my 2 all-time favorite retro Mega Man songs. And all of you know what they are, because they're the only 2 that are left. We'll talk about them more when we come back, but please, really listen, because these are excellently constructed tunes, and they're just so good. Rounding out our Robot Master battles, Sparkman versus Flashman. Okay, never mind. We're not going to talk anymore. For the rest of the episode, we're just going to play these 2 tracks on loop, back and forth. What do you think?
I mean...
I guess that wouldn't be much of a VGM podcast. These songs are so good. And it's so hard for me to pick between them. So, for that last one, I don't think I actually said this, but my favorite is actually Airman. So I would have gone with both Quickman and Airman. I would have actually gone for all the winners tonight. Tonight, my choice, though it's a very hard choice because I love them both so much, would be Sparkman. And I love that melody so much. I actually love these songs so much that sometimes when I think of one, I'll start like humming it, and then I'll accidentally move into the other one. And I love that, and then it's perfectly answered by that sort of downward. It's like, the composition is so good. When Mega Man was announced for Smash 4, I actually played through the 6 retro Mega Man games, but on an emulator with save states, so it was like kind of cheating. But I just wanted to get through them and listen to the songs in the games. Like, that was my whole purpose, so I could try to predict what songs they would pick for Smash. And of course, when I played through Mega Man 2, several of the big ones jumped out. I knew they would do Airman. I knew they would probably do Metal Man, maybe Quickman, Flashman for sure.
I'm not sure if they would have put the title theme in.
And, maybe the title theme, maybe the Dr. Wily theme, that one's kind of, some people like that one. But then when I got to Mega Man 3, this one jumped right out, and I was like, they have to put this one in. And of course they did. And Snake Man. And Shadow Man. There are so many great songs in this game, but these two are my favorites. Flashman, I love that intro, and it doesn't come back in the rest of the song, but the intro is so good. Flashman is the other theme that we have already played on this show. I played my new soundtrack's cover of it, or remix of it, when we did my favorite songs from your favorite games. And I love what that remix does, but even just the original song, so good. So good. Now, before we get into the winner of this one, I want to acknowledge that this could have gone any number of ways in the poll, depending on how we paired up these Robot Masters. You kind of decided what order we kind of wanted to... well, after you picked Mega Man 2 as the one that you wanted to represent, I actually picked Mega Man 3 tracks that I thought went with the Mega Man 2 tracks, and then I ran them by you to see what you thought. And you said, yeah, that works, right? So, and it does, but you could have paired them different ways. For example, I almost put Quickman with Sparkman, like I said, which would have put Flashman with Gemini Man, because of both of them kind of having the sort of icy stuff, and then Heatman with Needleman. The weird thing about that, I mean, Heatman and Needleman are both kind of the least popular of their soundtracks, I think, even though they're both so very good. But Needleman is one of the longest tracks we played. Heatman's one of the shortest tracks we played. That would have been really weird. I also, since I love Gemini Man so much, I didn't want to pair him with Flashman, because I love Flashman even more. But Flashman is objectively better than Gemini Man's theme. And so I didn't want Gemini Man to lose that hard. So yeah, I guess I did kind of stack that one. But I really wanted to put Flashman and Sparkman together, because they're both so very, very, very good. Kind of like Bubble Man and Snake Man, you know? You probably could have done different stuff with them as well, but I wanted to put them together because I think they're both really good, and I think they have some similarities to them, kind of like these two. But before I get to the poll results, what do you think of Flashman's theme and Sparkman's theme?
Well, I mean, as a Flashman's theme, I remember this being, like, to me, when I was younger, the main, like, Mega Man theme, because you had it set to, like, the highest possible chance that it would play when we played on Dr. Wily's stage in Smash 4.
Yeah, I remember that. I really, for the longest time, it was my number one favorite. But then Sparkman just kept growing and growing and growing on me. What about Sparkman's theme? You like it, right? You were definitely humming along with it when we played. They can't hear you nodding, but they can't. Yeah. They can't hear your brain rattling around, as my mom used to tell me.
Nod.
What I mean, I already kind of talked about Sparkman musically. What kind of jumps out at you about it? Do you have a favorite part?
No, it's just good.
Alright. Do you remember anything about these stages?
Flashman was very slippery.
Yes. Yeah, that part's annoying. And Flashman himself is also really annoying. And his power does nothing except the Quickman. Like, it's one of the most useless. And that way, I guess we could have placed him with Top Man. Sparkman's power is actually pretty cool. But one of the things that's cool about Sparkman's stage also is that it's one of the Doc Robot stages. And it's my favorite one to go back to because you can really see. When you go back to the Doc Robot stages, the stage is all, like, damaged and stuff. You can really see that with Sparkman's stage. But, I guess after all of that, without further ado, it is time to announce. There was one person who could not choose. 4 people voted along with me for Sparkman, which means a winner with 7 votes is Flashman. And I can't be sad. even though this means when it comes to Robot Masters, Mega Man 2 definitely wins. I think any way that I might have moved things around, I don't know. I could have gotten it to, 5-3 instead of 6-2 on the Robot Master votes, but I don't really think I could have beaten that. The Robot Masters for Mega Man 2, they're just really, really, really solid themes. Like I said, I think there's more variety and a little bit more maybe melodic character in some of the Mega Man 3 boss themes, but I recognize that there is some really, really solid compositional greatness in Mega Man 2 Robot Masters. But we are now officially done with Robot Masters. And to lead us into possibly the biggest song of the night, it is maybe the most famous Mega Man theme. Before we get to that one, let's hear the Wiley Castle intro music. First, from Mega Man 3, and then from Mega Man 2. Alright, Chukapal, what do you think about those? Which one do you think is better?
I'm pretty sure it's Mega Man 2,
The shorter one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like it more.
Interesting. I do too. And this is the first time that one of the... no, it's not. Mega Man 2 won the stage select and boss select music, but... Okay, this is the second time Mega Man 2 has won a non-boss battle round. And, some of the things we said about the boss music, I could say again. The longer Wily theme is a little bit more eerie, it's a little bit more, scary. It is longer, it has a little more character to it. The Mega Man 2 one is economical, it gets in there, it gets the job done. I think that's what you want when you're going to Wily's Castle. It just kind of descends on the castle, you see it. You don't see too much of it because then it still maintains an air of mystery. But also, this sound leads really, really well into the Wiley Castle Stage 1 theme. Guess, because of that, I am going to have to cast my vote along with it. And pretty much everybody else did too. Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. This one was a little bit closer. Once again, just like with Airman, Topman, and Flashman, Sparkman, there is one person who can't choose. 4 people went with Mega Man 3 this time. 7 people went with me. I think one of those was probably you, on Mega Man 2. So, Wiley Castle intro from Mega Man 2 is the winner of this round. So, that means it is time for the pairing that includes Wiley Castle Stage 1 from Mega Man 2. That song really needs no introduction. It needs very little commentary. It has been done to death. And this may be the only time it appears on this podcast for that reason. I love the theme. It's fantastic. It's not my favorite. We've already kind of talked about that, but it deserves the praise that it gets. Just like Mega Man 2 as a game. So it was really hard for me to finally come to the decision that the tune I placed with it is as good in its own way. In my opinion, it is. And I really want y'all to listen to Wiley Castle 2 from Mega Man 3. It's got a different character to it than Wiley Castle 1. And I'm kind of glad we're going to be playing it first, because after Wiley Castle 2, anything else is going to kind of pale in comparison, I think. But really listen to the Mega Man 3 Wiley Castle 2. I think you're going to know who wins before we even get into this round. So I'll still announce it, we'll do the little thing, but listen to the second place winner, in my opinion, in this round. From Mega Man 3, composed by Yasuaki Fujita, here is Wiley Castle 2, followed by the iconic Wiley Castle 1 theme from Mega Man 2, composed by Takashi Tateishi. Okay, I take back what I said. The Mega Man 3 track isn't as good, even in its own way. It's just not. That Wily 2 track, I think I summed it up for Shukapow. What did I say? You know, my favorite thing about the show is how you listen to me. It's so heartwarming. I said it's not just a piece. It's a song. It has structure. It goes on a journey. in that second half when those melodies come in, and then it's and all on top of that driving beat. It's a masterpiece. It really is. But that Mega Man 3 song, I want to make a case for it, not to win, but just listen to it. Especially that second part that's slower. The harmonies are so crunchy, like, it's so good. And especially listen to that lower voice, the second square wave on that Mega Man 3 song. I'm gonna play it real quick, just so you can hear it. Then we'll go back to the Wiley theme in the background, don't worry. It's just so dark, so good. But, of course, as you all probably would have predicted, Mega Man 2 Wiley Castle won with 10 votes to Mega Man 3's 2 votes. This was the biggest sweep, really, since the title theme, when Mega Man 3 took it with 13 votes to 3. This is the biggest one. Oh no, not true. Gemini Man won 10-2 against He-Man, but that was my fault. Yeah. Anyway, Mega Man 2 Wiley Castle 1, of course, is the winner of this round. Which brings us up to Mega Man 3 with 9 points for the title theme, Snake Man, the password theme, the boss theme, the weapon get theme, Proto Man's theme, Gemini Man's theme. No wait, 7 points. My bad. I can't count. 7 points. And Mega Man 2, also with 7 points, for Crash Man, Metal Man, Woodman, Stage Select, Quick Man, Airman, Flash Man. Oh no! It has 8 points. Okay. Yeah. Mega Man 2 is currently in the lead at 8 votes to 7. So, let's see how it goes when we play the staff roll. Ordinarily, we would close out with this theme, but we do have a kind of a special announcement we're going to use, and then we will actually close out with Shoot Kapow's arrangement of Top Man's theme, instead of playing it at the very, very end after the blooper reel. I wanted to come back and talk after the very last one so that we could count up the points and really close out the season with our big announcement and then something special from my boy. So, here we go. Shoot Kapow, would you like to read us into this last pair of songs?
Mm-hmm. Alright. This is Ending for Mega Man 3 by Yasuaki Fujita and Staff Roll for Mega Man 2 by Takashi Tateishi.
All right, and that was the ending from Mega Man 3 and the staff roll from Mega Man 2. I think they're actually both credits themes, but yeah, this one was a little tough for me. I had to think about it quite a bit, and I think I'm actually going to change what my vote would have been. But you, Kapow, which one did you like better?
The Mega Man 2.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, it's just so much more, like, active and...
It is that, for sure. I think I would say that the Mega Man 3 one sounds more fun, maybe a little more celebratory, but the Mega Man 2 one is definitely more, like, yeah, it's more active. It's got that same beat as the Wiley Castle one, which is fitting since it leads into it at the very end. But, so yeah, in the end, I agreed with you that I think the Mega Man 2 staff roll is a better staff roll. Mega Man 3's ending, though, is still very good. Like, it's crazy. If you take even the losers of these rounds and put them in a lot of other games, far and away, they're the best song in the game. You know, Heat Man, Wiley Castle 2 for Mega Man 3, Magnet Man... even the ones that lost, like, by the most. The title theme for Mega Man 2, like, that lost by that much. But these are still really, really, really awesome themes, and I've really enjoyed listening to them with you these last 2 weeks, my son.
Thanks.
But, in the end, it's a tie. Each one, Mega Man 2 staff roll and Mega Man 3 ending, got 6 votes, which means neither one of them gets a point this time, which means Mega Man 2 gets the most points.
Wow.
9-7. Mega Man 2 wins by points. But I did have one last poll question. And that is, what is the best overall soundtrack?
Mega Man 3.
Which one did you vote? That's what you voted?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I would have voted for. That it has the best overall soundtrack. My votes do actually corroborate that. When I looked at my personal votes on this list, it was like 10-5 or something like that, 11-5. I actually, like I said, I split the Mega Man 3 stage select, the Mega Man 2 boss select, which is why my numbers don't quite add up to the actual numbers. But I did not vote in the polls, as I've already said. Otherwise, that last one would not have been a tie. And since at the time I probably would have voted for Mega Man 3, it actually might have been even closer. But anyway, these numbers might have been all off. I think that might have been the only one I actually made a difference on, though. Oh, except for Snake Man, Bubble Man. Anywho. But, drumroll please. According to the voters in the Part 2 poll, the winner for Best Overall Soundtrack could not be determined, because it was also a tie at 6-6.
Alright then.
So, by the letter, or by the number, I suppose, Mega Man 2 is the winner. But by the spirit, it's a tie. They're both awesome. They're both equally good. And really, what other conclusion could we have come to? You know, it's Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. Hats off to Takashi Takeshi, Minami Matsumai, Yasuaki Fujita, and Harumi Fujita for their fantastic compositions here. And that does lead us to the close of our show and the close of our season. It has been a wild ride, and we cannot thank all of you enough for joining us along with it. If there's anything that I wish we could have had more of this season, besides, time and episodes, it would have been more interaction. It's, because of things, I don't do a lot of social media. Shukapow has gotten on Twitter and has been enjoying some interaction with y'all. I get to interact a little bit, and I do get emails back and forth. I talk on YouTube to a lot of folks. But we are going to be launching another area where we can have more interaction with you guys. There will be chats, there will be polls, there will be lots of things to do. And that means, yes, we are finally launching a Patreon account. Yeah! That is going to go live, actually the same day that this podcast posts, which is going to be Saturday, August 8th at 7 a.m. And the Patreon is going to go live on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. 12 hours. Whatever you guys can give, great. If you can't give anything, just come find us there, interact, chat, share with us, we'll talk about the tiers here in a second, but just, even if you can't pay right now, if you can't contribute, it's still a rough time for a lot of people out there. The reason I didn't launch earlier was because everybody was right in the middle of, the pandemic and the quarantine, and a lot of people weren't working. I actually had to scale back a little bit of my patronage for a little while, but if you can't give, don't worry about it. I still want to hear from you. We still want to hear your requests, your thoughts, your ideas. We love each and every one of you, and we love the interaction with you. For anyone who can give, here are the tiers and the rewards that go along with them. Some of that does include official requests, being able to answer official polls and things like that, but I will still be making public polls, shooting out questions, and all that stuff as well. And all of you can, of course, still interact with us on YouTube, on Twitter with ShootKapow, and by email at verygoodmusicvgm@gmail.com. On YouTube, you can just find us by searching VGM Podcast. We're one of the first things that pops up now, which makes me kind of proud. We're right up there with greats like XVGM, Pixel Radio, Rhythm and Pixels, Game That Tune, and some of the other VGM podcasts that pop up. But, ShootKapow, why don't you read along with me what some of our patron polls are? But first, why don't you give our listeners that Patreon URL? How do they get to this webpage?
Patreon.com/VGMVGM.
It's nice how that worked out, huh? Once again, thank you to Kung Fu Carlito for the excellent portraits that are featured on that page. And also to Benedict, who helped us out with the pixel art that's been featured on the show for several months now. They are some of my favorite folks in the VGM podcast community. The Dyad actually recently released another episode, a little over a week ago as you're listening to this show. If you listen to it today, it comes out. And he doesn't update very often, so highly encourage you to go check that out. ShootKapow's and my voices are actually on there, very briefly, along with some other folks from the VGM community. But it's just a really, really chill episode with some very, very good music. But let us talk about these tiers. ShootKapow, the first tier is actually a little bit unique. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one?
Right. Tier 1 is Friend of the Show.
This was inspired by a particular listener who shall remain nameless, but said that they feel a little bit weird because when they give to something, they don't necessarily want to get anything back. They just want to give. And so, in honor of that, this is that tier. Read the description for me, son.
If you like contributing but don't want a reward for generosity, this tier is for you. Choose what you would like to donate each month. If you would like the same recognition as the $2 tier, just email us and let us know. Otherwise, you'll remain secure and in your anonymity.
Anonymity.
Anonymity. Anonymity. Regardless, our appreciation is the same.
Alright, and the second tier is...
Very Good Member. This includes name read in the thank you section at the end of each episode, and any desired content, website, or social media links listed in the show notes and video description for each episode.
Yep, so not only will we say your name at the end of the show, we will also, we'll sponsor you. We'll
Sponsored by Alex the Messenger.
We'll mention, something that you've got going on or coming up if you would like to mention that. Like on a couple of the podcasts I follow on Patreon, they say Bedroth of the Very Good Music VGM podcast. We'll do that for you if that's what you would like. And what is the next tier?
Very Great Member.
Hey, all these are VGM. That's cool how that worked out.
Except for the first one.
Well, a friend of the show. That's a special person. So.
This is $4 per month. and includes access to tier-exclusive polls to determine one of the season's topics. At least twice a year, one of your picks will be featured in the Patrons Picks section of the podcast, which will launch once we get our first $4 patron. Once we get enough $4 patrons, we'll add a bonus episode of the show once per season just to spotlight patron picks. And everything in the previous tier. Very good member.
Yep. So on this one, not only will you get an announcement, a shout out, I will be once per season, probably, maybe not before the first episode, but somewhere around the first couple, I will throw up some topics that Shukapow and I have discussed about doing that season, but that we haven't really been able to settle on, and you will get to pick whatever that topic is by voting for it. You can also submit requests to Patreon, and as a member of this tier, you will be kind of on top of the list to be featured in the Patron Picks section. But like I said before, this show is all about very good music. So if you have a really good song that you want to share, especially if you know what one of the upcoming topics is going to be, send it to us, and if we decide to feature it, I'll just say, you know what, I gave one of my picks this week to the Messenger, because he sent me this great track from Doom, and I thought it was perfect, and so I wanted to play it. So yeah, even if you are not a $4 tier member, please still request, and when we do our public polls, please still vote in those like that. This is not anything to do with that, but it is sort of an exclusive level for folks who want to have a little bit more say in some specific things for the show. And a lot of it really is to give us an excuse to do that bonus episode every season, because that's kind of what the Quarantimes bonus was, and I loved it so much. I want to keep doing that. So, all right, what is the next tier?
Next up is Very Grand Member. This is $7.50 a month, and you get to pick a whole episode once a year. In addition to our regular and bonus episodes, we'll do an episode featuring a topic of your choice or a selection of songs all chosen by you. If you're able, you can call in and guest on the show, choose to write a testimonial for each of the songs, or just provide the playlist. And everything in the previous tiers.
Yep. So basically, if you are a $7.50 a month member, then once a year, meaning once every 2 seasons, you can pick a whole episode of the show. And you can reach out to us, or we'll reach out to you, let you know, hey, it's time again, you can pick one, what do you want to do? Like I said, briefly, you can, or like Shukapow said, briefly, you can be on the show, or you can just tell us what to play. It can be a topic, or it could just be a selection of songs, but that one episode, that season, will belong to you. So, and what is the next tier, Shukapow?
Next up is Very Glorious Member. You get all previous rewards and your choice of one of the following. You can get a personalized sprite of your choice, which will be featured on your episode's cover art from the Very Grand Member. Or we will compose a 30-second theme song for you and feature it when we play in your episode. When we say we mean probably me.
I mean, I might compose it.
Maybe.
But yeah, you do compose a lot more, and you're the only sprite maker, so yeah. This would be, you'll put Shukapow to work if you choose this tier.
Yay, $10 a month.
And yeah, just to be clear, you will get a copy of whatever it is we make for you, and you can use it in whatever you want. But we will also feature it when we do your episode, since you will have an episode at least once a year from the tier below this one. So, and the final tier, Shukapow.
Very Generous Member. This is $15 per month, and you get all previous rewards plus both the personalized sprite and theme song.
Yep.
Very much worth it for $15 a month.
Yep.
Coming soon to your local Walmart.
You don't have to think about what that's going to be, a year. Just to, don't worry about it too much. And, we could get into all of that stuff about how, technically if you follow for $15 a month, we'll make it for you, and then you don't have to follow for $15 a month anymore. But, that's up to you. You can kind of do your own thing with that. So, I trust you guys. I trust you to make the best decision for yourself, for your families, and, for your finances. And really, this is just an excuse for us to share more VGM stuff and give back to you for everything that y'all have given to us so far. finally, there are a couple of other things that I wanted to mention. We have 2 overall goals for the show. At $150 a month, if we get to that point, Very Good Music, VGM Podcast, will become a weekly show. And with all of the bonus episodes I just threw in there, that could get quite full. But you know what? At $150 a month, it's worth it. If we get all the way up to $300 a month, I will use that to chase one of my own dreams. I will create a second podcast. It will be semi-monthly. It will not be a weekly thing. But it will definitely be gaming related. I don't know exactly what content that will be, but basically at $150 a month, collectively you all get a second, or twice as much Very Good Music. And at $300 a month, you get a whole nother podcast, and Very Good Music will continue to be a weekly show. So, that is about all we have to say about that. Man, this was a lot of fun. What do you think? You think we can handle all that Patreon stuff?
I don't know. Maybe.
I guess we'll roll with it, just like we've already done. Season 2, guys, it's going to be a blast. We've got some great episodes already lined up. We've got a few guests lined up. I've reached out to some special folks who y'all are going to be hearing about. Dusklight will definitely be back at some point. Prof. Jeff will be back at some point. And I've got some feelers out to a few people in the podcasting community who you may hear from as well. But I think that is going to just about do it. This episode actually did turn out to be a little bit longer than the last one, mostly because of the super long intros and outros. But you know what? It's a season finale. We had a lot to say. Shukapow, do you have anything else to say to our wonderful listeners?
Follow me on Twitter.
At Shukapow.
Yes.
You can also check him out, where else?
Flat.io, where I compose music, including the Top Man theme
that you'll be hearing next. And also, for sprite work, where can they find you?
Pisco app.
Yep. And have you made your sprites public yet?
Not very many. I should probably do that.
Yeah, just so they can kind of see what your style is and maybe see what they might want to do. And you know what? If you struggle at all with that, with any of the requests from our patrons, the Dyad has also said that he'd be more than happy to consult and help you out with that. So, all right. Well, that is going to bring our show and our season to a close. One last time, until September, play very good games. Be very good people.
And keep listening to very good music.
Have a great rest of your summer. And if that sounded a little weird, here's a peek behind the scenes. I couldn't get Patreon to pull up on my computer because I'm already running Audacity, and my computer doesn't like doing multiple things at one time. So I was walking back and forth and looking at Shukabow's computer for that last part. Oh, man. But some of y'all don't like peeks behind the curtain, so maybe I'll put that in the blooper reel. And Mega Man 3, composed by
Hirokazu Tanaka and...
Nope.
No, wait. No, wait. No. When I say if Tanaka... No. If Tanaka did not compose Mega Man.
Mom wants to know if you're ever going to be done.
Tell her we have about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
15 at the most.
Okay.
Something screwy here. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7. 2, 3, 4. Okay.
That will be hearing.
It's been 17 minutes and why.
He's riding around on your bike on a hill, and all of a sudden this guy comes up with this level 50 Flareon. It's just like, hey, I want to take your money and experience points. And Zuko's just like, honor. And you're like, go Zuko, honor.
I just recorded all that again.
You did?
Yes.
Yes.
I had pushed record because I needed to fix the last thing I said, and then we started talking.
Perfection. Absolute perfection. Good work, Bedroth.
It's really weird when you call me anything besides Dad. I know it works for the show, but anyway. Okay, stop talking.